back here. Let's see.
Here's the instrument assignment.
Mm-hmm.
And I think most of you found one when we met in class last week, I think.
And in terms of the number of articles we need to use, there's not necessarily a number of articles we have to pull from. It's just good. Okay.
No. So you're going to give a description of what the measure is, including the level of measurement, and that's worth a point. Then you're going to tell me everything you could find about the reliability of that instrument. So that includes things like test, retest, inter-rater reliability, intra-rater reliability, and any reliability coefficients or anything they say about internal consistency or generalizability.
Okay.
And that may take, as many articles as you could find to get as many of those as you can.
Okay. Okay. And I think I found a pretty good review of the tool that I had found. And so I think I have a couple articles that are good.
Great. Hi, guys. It looks like Courtney and Julia are with us.
Hi there.
Hey, and Rachel's signing on. Can everybody hear okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just going to open it up to any questions you have about the PICO question assignment, which is due tonight. So hopefully, and we did talk about that when we were in intensives, but if anybody has any questions about that, I can take them. And then we also were going to talk about this instrument critique assignment. So should we start with anything on the PICO assignment that people have? Everybody feeling okay with that one?
I think the only question I had, I've already turned my assignment in, but you had part of the rubric that it had to be, you had to define the empirical testing, I think was one of the pieces. And I wasn't sure how detailed I needed to be with that. And so I think I went maybe a little too vague, and I'm sure you'll give me feedback.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I think the point of that was that it had to lend itself towards some type of quantitative analysis versus a qualitative. So,
okay, I feel better because I didn't want to say too much and get it wrong, and because I'm still learning. so I'm not quite sure. I was like, well, I have an idea of how this would go, but
Yeah, and I had the same question, but at this point it's pretty much written and hopefully it's beautiful, so.
I think the point of that section is don't tell me you're gonna describe the lived experience of someone about something, because that makes me think qualitative versus quantitative.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of the point of that piece.
Okay.
And welcome, Lisa. We didn't see you in intensive, so good to see you.
I know. I was in the Russia motherland.
Yeah, good to see you tonight. And one of the things that we kind of described a little bit the last day is how some of these assignments, Peggy Jenkins and I worked hard over the summer to try to make it appropriate for both groups. But there may need to be some future tweaking in the future for us to alter things a bit more for DMP students. So you guys can give us that feedback too. So know that we're open to feedback, and we're hoping that the DMP students get from this a good solid grounding in how to critique quantitative literature. and find the best evidence to guide their projects. And that the PhD students have a good grounding in how to critique the literature to guide their dissertation, but also how to apply the content for designing their own study. So that's what we're hoping for. And since both groups really need to use an instrument probably for the work they're proposing to do, we thought one of the assignments that would be good to keep in this course is the instrument critique. So that one's due next week, September 16th. And the description I've got up on my screen here, if you can see it, that you're going to select a measure, an instrument for a variable of interest to your proposed work, and critique that instrument. So you get 1 point for describing the measure, and in that description needs to include what level of evidence. So we briefly discussed some of that during intensives, but you can also refer to the book if you need a little help with identifying. So is this nominal? Is it rank order? Is it ratio? Is it, what do you think the level of the evidence is? And many times the instrument itself or articles about the instrument are not going to tell you that. So you're going to have to look at that section in the book and kind of pick these instruments apart and come up with that. And then you're going to get 2 points for critiquing the reliability. And you're going to look out there in the literature and find as many articles using this instrument and on the instrument so that you can try to address as many of these reliability factors as possible. So did anybody report on test retest? Did anybody talk about inter-rater reliability or intra-rater reliability? Were there any reliability coefficients reported in any of the studies that use the instrument? Did anybody describe internal consistency or generalizability? So those are the words you're going to be searching for as you're reading, and absolutely helps to find an article that says it's going to tell you about the reliability and validity of the instrument and how they developed it and that sort of thing. But that's not always possible. So find what you can and report on those issues, and that's 2 points. And then the validity is also worth 2 points, and that will include things like face validity, content validity, criterion validity, concurrent validity, construct validity, convergent, and discriminant validity. And I know you don't remember all that stuff from when you took stats in the past, but it's all spelled out real clearly in your book. So look at what you can find on the articles on the instrument that you're going to critique, and then use the book because it has friendly little definitions of each of those terms to help you sort out. Did they tell you that it had face validity and that they had somebody critique, some experts in the field critique for content validity? Did they do any testing comparing it to another instrument that measures the same thing, and that's concurrent validity? So you can look at the definitions and look at what they did and then be able to describe what they've done with that. And unfortunately, what you're going to find probably is a whole lot of instruments out there that people are using, and there's not a great deal of reliability and validity published on them. So that's kind of a weakness. Now, if there's an instrument that you're interested in using, sometimes there's a manual that goes with it. And in the instrument manual, they may go through some of these things as well. So anywhere you can find the answers to these things would be great. Are there questions? Does everybody have the instrument that they're going to critique?
Yep.
I do not yet.
I do.
I'm changing directions for my project, but I will find one. I'm not going to stress.
Yeah, you will get one.
I'm not going to stress.
Good. Good. So, so are there questions about trying to answer some of these questions? Are you guys finding some things? Or you're probably busy working on the PICO question this week and you'll do this. This is for next week, right?
No, this is Courtney. So actually, I've been looking at it and trying to, it's just a matter of getting back into understanding what some of the definitions are and things like that, to what you alluded just a little bit ago. So, and then finding those just within some of the research.
Yeah, and don't hesitate to use the index in the book and flip to the section that you need. For this assignment, you can look up those definitions and then read what you're finding on the instrument and apply those definitions. So
I'm almost worried that my instrument is too long and that there's a lot of information on it out there. And I've used it before and I have all the rights to it and stuff, so I'm almost worried that I'm going to be overwhelmed, but I have another one that I can pick if I really look at it critically and think that that's the case. But
well, if you think it's something you're really going to use, you're going to need to write this up for your project anyway.
Well, that's true.
And,
Okay.
And you might as well give feedback and help.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my thought on it. But, you know, you can go any way you want to with this. But if I mean, you can concisely say,
Right.
18 studies have published using this article, and they have, you know, a range of test, retest findings, and they have a range of whatever they have.
Okay.
So you can concisely summarize. But if it's widely used, and that's kind of good, actually.
Okay. Yeah, I've already found a ton of articles on it, and I mean, it's been used in a bunch of international studies, and so I suppose that's good.
Yeah, the other thing that may occur is it may be the gold standard and everybody's using it, but when you go to pick apart, did anybody do these specific reliability and validity tests and tell you about it? There's still probably going to be some holes. That's just kind of the way it is.
Yeah.
So, but you can go either way, but it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Okay,
It's
good.
widely used and lots published. That's usually a strong instrument.
Okay, great.
Or the only one on the topic, so everybody uses it.
Yeah, there's others, but this one's just sort of seems to be the gold standard, like you're saying. So, okay.
Well, you'll probably find something good to report on it, I would guess.
Yeah.
Other thoughts, questions? Is there anything else you want to talk about tonight? Anything you've read so far, or anything that left you kind of puzzled from intensives?
I think one question I had that I just need to go back, I think, to the syllabus and look was about the project groups that we had and where that all fits in together. I wasn't sure when we started doing something together.
Yeah, that's a very good question. And Lisa wasn't there for those discussions, so it's good for us to go into that. So those, I'll go back to this assignment tab here. Those groups only apply to the analysis assignments.
Okay.
And they start at the second half of the course. So the first one is due October 28th. And you are going to use your groups to do the 4 analysis assignments. And each one of them describes the role of the different participants. So there's, I believe, either 2 or 3 DNP and 1 PhD to each group. So the students, PhD student will complete the analysis. The DNP and PhD students will work together on the interpretation, and the DNP students will address the clinical significance of the findings. So what you'll do for this first one is the PhD student will conduct the meta-analysis, and the data set and the worksheet and a step-by-step instruction sheet are all in the modules. So a meta-analysis is something that a DNP student could do and may want to do. So it's all there if you decide that you want that knowledge for yourself and you want to walk through this assignment for the calculation. But for the assignment, the PhD students complete the calculations, and then the DNP and PhD students collaborate to answer these questions. Is there significant heterogeneity among the 3 effect sizes? What is the overall significance of the 3 studies? And then the PhD students will conduct the file drawer test to determine how many unpublished studies would have to exist to change your conclusions about this. And then the DNP students will speak to the clinical significance of the findings. So this is done collaboratively with PhD students doing the calculation for you guys that are DNP students, and the DNP students do the clinical significance for the PhD students. So questions about that? And you should be able to use these same links if you guys want to meet about this independently. But if you can't, just click on, if you can't, click on this Zoom link and connect. Let me know and I'll set something up for you. But it should work that you can meet whenever you want to as your small groups.
Also, last semester, China Hutchins provided us with the information to set up our own Zoom group. So if anybody needs it, I know we did that with Julia in our group last semester, and that was really helpful.
Perfect. You absolutely should not stress about, somebody can help you get this set up so that you can, I mean, that it's in the Canvas shell, and you should be able to set up a meeting as whenever you want. So if you need my help, or if you have a note from China on how to do it.
Lisa, we're in the same group and I've done it a few times. It's pretty easy. I think we'll be okay. Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, that's 2 of us then, so it worked really well last time. I was kind of like, oh, another Zoom thing, but it was really helpful. Great.
Yeah. And I think between, so these assignments have, let me go to the modules and kind of walk you through how I have them set up, because some people do okay reading. So your book has a how-to in SPSS related to these things. Sorry, I'm going to sneeze.
Bonnie, I wonder if we all shared some germs when we were together last week, because I think a few of us have been sniffly and sneezy.
Have you? Yeah, I wasn't sure yesterday if it was allergies or a cold, but it's very clearly a URI. So maybe we did.
I'm not sure about that theory though, because I came home with with a Russian cold. So,
maybe it was the airplane travel then for us all.
Maybe, there you go. Maybe that's our correlation.
I'm not leaving on a plane till Wednesday, so I'll be the one spreading it.
Oh, no.
Good for you.
No, my fellow travelers will not be that happy about it. So here's the how-to step-by-step instructions, and it really walks you through exactly what you're going to do. And then let's see if we can just go to next. I think I'll move you guys over here. And then here's the calculator. And if you download this, this is an interactive Excel file, and you just plug the numbers in. So you can just plug values in, and it will do the calculations for you here. And then the next one, this one describes the assignment. Now let me go back to what I did for the next analysis assignment, just because it involves SPSS and not the calculation sheet, is give you the how-to sheet, give you the data set, give you the assignment, but also made a little interactive video, or a voiced video, so that it walked you through. This one, actually that one is one that has a video by, here's the data set. So there's the variable view, there's the data view, and then let's see, yes, close, no, save. And then there's a video that walks you through exactly how to do it. And then there's also this written step-by-step with the SPSS pages highlighted. So I think you're one way or the other, whether you follow the recipe card or you watch the video on one screen and walk yourself through it on the other screen. I think whichever way you learn best.
I would have sold my soul for all of these tools and inferential.
Yeah.
We ended up with a mathematician guy teaching ours, and he would always say, do you remember it from this upper level math class? And we were all just like, we're nurses.
Yeah, not.
It was really scary, but we made it through.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just better. It's just better to have multiple ways to look at these, and then you can, whichever way works for you, you can go ahead and follow either the step-by-step or watch the video. Either way, doesn't matter. However it works for you. So those are the multiple resources. Let me go back to modules. Because I know for many nurses, it freaks them out to think about analysis and all that jazz. I just tried to put in as many different resources, so whatever way works for you to learn, it should be there for you. And in the first page goes through kind of what the objectives are, the required reading, and then the presentations. And here is the link to how to do the regression. Okay, this video is going to walk you through the practical use of SPSS to conduct logistical regression analysis. And you're going to I suggest 3 things to prepare you for this analysis assignment number 4. First of all, read through the learning guide, which is posted under the assignment number 4 tab. I think you'll be fine with this, but oops. And you're going
hush it up.
I suggest 3 things to prepare you for this.
Click in the middle of the screen.
Number 4.
What's that?
Just click and there you go.
All right. So, if there's something else you need to help with those, know that I'm trying to come up with anything I can that'll make it doable for you. And this is helps you be able to not be afraid of playing with the data too, if you want to. So, but we've split it up into the 2 groups responsibility for the assignment, and the group as a whole kind of work together on how you're going to interpret and make sense of what you're doing. So other questions about those? Those are the only thing you need your groups for, is those 4 analysis assignments.
Did you set up those groups yet? Because I don't see it in Canvas.
Yeah, so it should be in the announcements for, let's make sure, some of the things I think we posted it.
If not, Alexis took a picture of it and then she sent it to me because I couldn't see the board during the Zoom thing that I was watching the recording, and I could, post it somewhere if you want.
I emailed it to Peggy too, so I'll put it on the announcements for you so that you're
you know how to create a group with your people, don't you, Dr. Gantz?
For in the class?
Right. Go up to your people tab there.
Let's do it.
It's underneath grades. And you go to groups. And yours isn't set up. Okay.
There's positive group set. Let's see.
Mine will let me do it. Interesting.
Maybe yours has superpowers.
I think we said three groups, right?
Or just call it
data
analysis. Yeah, 3 groups there. And then hit, I'll create groups manually under group structure. And now you can have your 3 groups and assign your people there.
Let's see if I can find what we said.
I think we know our groups, so we could probably just tell you.
All right.
That's good because I wasn't there and I don't know.
I think we tried to do it by
time zoned.
Time zone, so you wouldn't have as much trouble setting up meetings. But let me see if I can search it by Peggy's name, because I know I sent them to her to make sure.
Do you remember who's in your group, Julia? Because I know who's in mine.
I have it if you want it.
Yeah.
Okay, what I have here
I
is
do know who's in mine.
Courtney. Add to group. Oh, groups need to be created.
Click just that plus group, I think.
Okay, I'm
And
gonna
then you just say group 1.
Group 1.
There you go.
Group
And then
2. All right, let's make sure what I've got and what you've got is the same. All right. Edit. Nope.
Oh, just
edit.
grab your student and throw them in the group.
Let me find the page again. This says, I think there, is it Courtney, Rachel, Jessica? Or no?
I have Courtney, Jessica, and Alicia.
Courtney. Alicia. And Jessica in group 1.
Mm-hmm.
And group 2.
So if you click your caret there on the left of the group, you should be able to see your students in there.
All righty. Let's do group 2.
Looks like Alexis. I can't read the second name.
I'm with Alexis, and then it's Stacia and Carrie, I think.
Right. Yep.
Stacia, Carrie, and who was talking?
This is Julia, and so I'm in that group too.
You? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if we got everybody right. All right. So the other
So group 3 is Rachel, Allison, Lisa, and Suzanne.
All right. I think we did it.
Yay.
Make sure. Now, will everybody be able to see that and make sense of it?
I think so.
Yep, it's already up on my board.
Oh, good. Good deal. All right. What other questions do you have about the course, about the assignments?
Not right now.
So as you begin working on the critique, you can always email me with questions. It might be a little tricky getting right back to you as I am traveling. I have 3 trips in the next week. So in between planes and meetings, I will try to get back to you. It looks like we have a new visitor. Rachel's little one joining us.
Sweet.
Are you joining graduate school in nursing graduate school? Oh, we got 2.
Oh, it's yes. Dad's got high school sons, soccer carpool, so I have the littles.
Oh.
All right. Any other questions?
I don't think so.
All right. Feel free to email me.
They are helpful just to feel connected and to stay on track.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Here's Alicia. You got any questions, Alicia?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Okay, I think it's recording, and I'm gonna try that every week. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So I hate to guarantee anything, but I always set it up the same, and it never reacts the same. But and I'm sure at some point the link will quit working for the Zoom, and you guys just email me and let me know, and I'll set up a new one, because I don't know what the magic date is, but they almost always stop working at some point. Any other questions, concerns?
Thank you for setting these up. It really is helpful.
Yeah, let me know if you have questions as you're working on these. The one due tonight, you probably need to ask now. And the one due next week, I'll be checking email all week. So.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you all. Have a good week.
Yeah.
You too. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Fun. All right. Stop share.